This is cute for Cancer Moon. Alright, I guess I'll just start this because I'm going live to record this so I could just like upload it really quick and then I'm going to put it on my YouTube. Yeah, so today I wanted to make a video. Actually, hold on. This is driving me nuts. Better. Okay. I wanted to make a video about emotions and feelings in the new age. Basically this, ascension age, the spiritual awakening. Everyone's talking about. It's a real hot topic. Yeah, it's kind of like nothing new really, and it's been going on for a long time. We're just becoming more aware of ourselves and everything really. And one way we're becoming more aware is with our emotions. And our emotions are such a key to navigating life, especially, in this new age, in this fifth dimensional energy. And yeah, it's, they're getting more popular lately over the past few years. Sorry, I'm opening my water. There you go. Psychology has gotten way more, exciting, and people are more aware of what's behind their feelings, what feelings are behind their actions, what is, toxic behavior, how do we work on ourselves, how do we not let our emotions ruin our lives, all that stuff. And yeah, when we tune in, this is a really broad statement, right? A really big statement, but when we are feeling good, we are in alignment with our highest self. Like, that's what it comes down to. We are more in alignment with what we want, or whatever you believe, what God wants for you, your true path, your destiny. When you're feeling good, you are more in tune with that, and when you are feeling bad, it's like your energy system going like, not this way, nope, not this way. And it's kind of like, that's why it feels bad, right? When we're like separate from ourselves and separate from like the God in ourselves, the light, the farther you feel separate from God, the more it hurts. I know that's a broad statement, but God is something different to everybody else. Yeah. So now again, that's a broad statement. I'm not trying to be like everyone just feel good and screw people over and do what you want and trample on stuff. In the meantime, again, we're all becoming more in tune with our feelings and with other people's feelings, and we're kind of learning how to work together in a new way. Yes, like based on kind of feelings and considering each other's feelings, because like we've pushed feelings and emotions like to the side for so long. And I was thinking of this earlier. I think a lot of it is, divine masculine, divine feminine evening out and equaling out, because if you think of it in like not even divine masculine, in like a social masculine, like masculinity's been pretty messed up, in this whole like don't cry, men don't cry, don't be in touch with your, hey, people here, yeah, don't be in touch with your emotions. So we're kind of learning to do like damage control. I just saw this post on Twitter, and it was something like, when did emotions and talking about our feelings become such like a bad thing? Like, it's not, hey. Yeah, so I'm just going on, then I'm just gonna upload this, so if I just ramble on and seem like I'm talking to myself, that's why. But yeah, just talking about how emotions are so important in the new age, and where you're feeling kind of is a representation of like where you're headed spiritually, I guess. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, because it's bigger than spiritual, right? Like, when it comes down to it right now, really, people just want to feel good, right? And we want to feel accepted and loved. And that's another thing, while we're all kind of like learning to work together in new ways, based on respect and feeling and how we feel with each other, right? Because there's one example of like how these soul groups are breaking up, and we're kind of realigning with our soul family. So when you become more aware of how things really are, like I'll use relationship for an example. Say like you always thought you had this great relationship with your sister, and now it's going to shit, and you're realizing that like she probably doesn't really care about your feelings in this certain way, and maybe vice versa, and now your family is like someone different. Someone else is filling that role, kind of. Or at least trying to, like how we're all kind of working out. But there's like some resistance because it hurts to leave our old soul groups behind and like to end relationships because we're learning that they're toxic. It's another thing. We're learning about what's toxic in a relationship and what's not. And it's moving beyond, like, the past few years there's been a lot of highlight on like narcissism and narcissist behavior. But now I think we're moving towards a place where we're realizing like we can be narcissistic with each other even if you're a good person, because your vibes just are not, like, you're just not gonna get along. And it's self-care to end relationships, and like sometimes you're the bad guy, you know, and that's still self-care and it's love toward them, you know, and realizing like, hey, we just don't mesh it out anymore, like, and this is just gonna end in more, you know, negativity. So yeah, I think people have become way more like emotionally responsible, emotionally intelligent, and we really are learning how to self-care by caring for each other as well, right? Yeah. I think where I was going to go next, because I was thinking of like, it'd be cool if I just kind of channel this. Yay, there's more people, hey! Cool, yeah, we're just talking about emotions, and how they're a good thing, and being in tune with them is totally rad, and getting more and more cool. And when we tune in, the better we feel, again, this is a broad statement, I said it before, but the better we feel, the more tuned we are with our hearts, with our higher selves, with God. You know, that's how you know you're on the right path, when you get that validation from spirit. And again, it's a lot more lonely because we're not getting the validation from the same people that we used to. You know, like the pandemic has really tuned people in to ourselves and our real feelings and how we communicate, because it's much easier, like, when you're inside your house all day and you can't, you know, you're forced to sit with your thoughts. So I love that meme where it's like, Corona was like, oh, you're gonna sit with your thoughts, and everyone was like, absolutely not, I'll bake bread from scratch. But even that shows, like, how aware we are of, like, we don't want to deal with our emotions. Which is a lot, you know, it's more in tune than we used to be. And a lot of it we're realizing, you know, how we've kind of glossed over things and like made excuses for certain things we didn't want to deal with, and how it kind of builds up. Like, everything comes to the light, including subconscious issues. So I think we're learning how to deal with those with self-love, you know, from a loving place, and not looking at like emotions equal bad, you know, like showing your emotions and vulnerability is a bad thing. Because personally, I think it's more emotionally intelligent, because to be so like open with, hey man, this is how I feel, and it not be a manipulative thing, because that's a thing humans do. And again, I don't think it's like you're a narcissist if you do it. It's like everyone has these traits, especially in like family and friendship circles. Like, I feel like the closer you are, the easier it is to pull these like little manipulative games with each other. But we're realizing we're doing that, and we don't want to, and we're breaking off, you know, those connections that were not as true to us, not as, you know, in alignment with our highest good and the good of all concerned, ultimately. So yeah, I just want to jump on, especially because it's Cancer Moon too. I thought that was a cool timing. Like, it's not a bad thing to be in touch with your emotions, talk about emotions, talk about how you feel. And we're getting to a point where we're talking about how we feel with each other, again, in a non-manipulative way, even if it's like a little bit. And I'm not associating with like manipulative communication as like, oh, you're a bad person. Like, we all kind of do these little things in little ways, and we're learning how to not, and just be more authentic and upfront with each other and straight up. And again, a lot of our validation, because really we all just, like humans, like we kind of need that validation, and like we want to be liked, you know, it's like, that's just basic human stuff. So we're getting that in new ways, and I think as we open up to receiving that validation and love and warmth and all that in new and unexpected ways, we're kind of like opening the floodgates for more of that to come in, you know, more good feeling, more understanding. Yeah, and then it kind of, from that perspective, makes life less of a scary place into more of a exciting journey. Yeah, I just want to talk about emotions because I've been like studying them in myself the past few weeks. I'll tell you why. Twitter scares the hell out of me. Not so much anymore. And I've noticed like this with other people too, with other people putting boundaries up in like their normal daily routines of what they used to do, because it makes them feel like crap and they don't want to feel like crap anymore, so they're not going to do it. One of my friends has been doing this with Instagram, which I think is awesome, because Instagram is her like, no, it makes you feel like crap. And yeah, Twitter, I'm getting better with it. I watched this video yesterday with Jonathan Van Ness, and he mentioned about Twitter, and he's like, yeah, so I just got on Twitter and I just let it all out and I just rah, because that's what it's there for. I was like, oh, okay, so it's a known thing that that's what Twitter is for. But like that has always bothered me so much. Like I've stayed away from Twitter because I feel like I call it like people yelling into the void, and every time I see it, it like triggers stuff in me, and then I'm pissy, and I don't like to be pissy, so I've avoided Twitter for most of its existence until now. I've made a business account because that's what, you know, like they say, you gotta have a business account for everything. And I don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm in 6th grade, and when I was in 6th grade, I wasn't the coolest kid, okay? So, I mean, I was a cool kid, but the other kids didn't think so. I was bullied pretty bad. And I like was able to pinpoint because I had never felt this feeling since like I was young, and it's a horrible feeling. Oh my god! So it was just like so vivid to me, and I realized like, whoa, this is what middle school felt like. So I'm just gonna stay off Twitter. Yeah, I don't know if like someone subtweeted me. I don't know. I had to like look up what subtweet, and then I was like paranoid. So either way, like, I decided that when it comes down to it, staying with that and like investigating that more is not going to do me any good, because I'm either going to end up like paranoid, pissy, and wanting to be like defensive. And that was my first reaction. I was like, there was a defensive reaction. And I'm like, no, I stopped myself. Like, don't. Because for me, like, I recognized it. I was also being really, really like judgy and critical of lots of things, and I saw it as like, I really believe everything is a reflection of myself, like we're all just mirrors to each other. So I was like, okay, well, where in me am I like that, you know? Like, if I'm assuming someone's judging me like that, where am I holding on to that energy? Yeah, and I like let a lot of that go and work through it, and like I was fine, you know? But yeah, I guess I just wanted to share that, because emotions and sharing emotions and being open with each other and vulnerability, it's got a lot of power, and I think we're going to be learning just how much and like how powerful that really is, because it's like soul power, you know? It's cool. So yeah, I don't know how long this has been, but I'm gonna stop it, and okay, about 15 minutes. That's a long enough video. Yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Love yourselves. Be patient with yourselves, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.